Good evening everyone and welcome to League of Europe. We are here for F1 2019 as always. It is Season 3, Division 1 and we take in Round 18, the penultimate round of the championship, and we are taking in the United States Grand Prix from the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. Good evening everyone, I'm James here, going to be taking you the stream as always here on a Saturday night. No Jekyll alongside me, he is going to be covering Division 3 tonight because of Commenceless's internet problems, so he is going to be taking the Division 3 stream, so you're stuck with me for the next hour and 20 minutes or so, and hopefully we are going to see a very good race out on track, and hopefully it's going to be a dry race as well here at the Circuit of the Americas. And what a night we have in prospect. The championships, both constructors and drivers championships, can be determined here tonight. So you will want to see the all-important standings. Well, we can't show you the standings physically on the stream, but I'll read them out to you now. Alpha Trix leads on 301 points from Louis in second on 267 points. By my calculations, it is 44 points separating the top two drivers out on track. Unless my maths is completely wrong there, it might actually be 34. I think it's 34 points between Alpha Trix and Louis. So really what Alpha Trix has got to do is outscore Louis here tonight and he will win the championship. Louis in turn, to keep his championship alive, has got to win the race, and Alpha Trix I think has got to be either third or fourth or below. So Alpha Trix has got to try and not finish in those positions. I think, though, they'll be filling out the first two places. Montana is in third on 175 points. Campbell in fourth on 131. Verstappen in fifth on 130. Cantera in sixth on 117. Alonso in seventh on 116. While Luigi in eighth on 101. With Cohen in ninth on 55. Bullet Boy in 10th on 53. Larkin in 11th on 47. Schiaparelli in 12th on 38 points. Doom in 13th on 35, tied with Toxic. Lakitu's in 15th on 34 points. Xjari in 16th on 30. Spag and Chips in 17th on 22. NSX Vaporizer in 18th on 21. J Heldorn in 19th on 19. And M Short rounding off the top 20. He is on 8 points. Still quite a few battles to be decided with further down the field as well as the main championship itself. Hopefully you guys will stay tuned in for tonight's action. Mercedes lead the constructors. It is still quite tight between Mercedes and Ferrari and the constructors. 10 points separating. Mercedes leading the championship on 3-3-5. Ferrari on 3-2-5 in second. 10 points, as I say, the difference between them. And I don't think the constructors can be won tonight unless Ferrari or Mercedes have an absolute cock-up out on track. McLaren is in third on 195 points. Red Bull is in fourth on 186. With Haas in fifth on 165. Toro Rosso in sixth on 162. With Alfa Romeo in seventh on 152. Renault is in eighth on 131. Williams in ninth on 78. And Racing Point in 10th on 41 points. So the Racing Point team well down there in the field, but we are here, as I'd say, for the Circuit of the Americas. A fantastic track here. 20 turns await the drivers, and I will just try and find my track map for you guys so I can have a run through of the track map and give you guys the best possible guidance of how the drivers out on track will be taking it. And there is the Circuit of the Americas track map. 20 turns, as I say, 3 sectors of course, 2 DRS zones, one down the start-finish straight and one down the main long 1 kilometre straight between turns 11, 90-degree hairpin, and turn 12, the heavy braking zone down in towards turn 12. And as I say, 2 DRS zones will promote overtaking aplenty, and hopefully we do see quite a lot of overtaking here tonight, and hopefully we see some clean action as well out on track. It is a Herman Tilke design track. First came here in real life in 2012, where, if I'm not mistaken, it was back in the old Formula 1 days, and though Valencia was broadcast on F1 Rewind today on YouTube, so if you haven't watched that, go and watch it. It's a fantastic race where Alonso took the win, of course, with Vettel's problems late on. But here tonight, it's Louis against Alpha Trix, and that is the main battle we are going to be focusing on here tonight. But I cannot wait for the action. I'm sure you guys can't wait as well. Just to speak about a couple of reserves that are coming in to tonight. And I think there's only one reserve that is actually in the lobby right now, and that is Ice-T. So he's filling in the McLaren in replace of Jay Heldon. Jay Heldon, I think, has got a qualifying ban off the top of my of the race ban, sorry, off the top of my head. So Jay Heldon not going to be taking part in tonight's session, but we are gearing up for a night full of action on what would have been Eurovision Grand Final night of 2020 in Rotterdam. The programming going on for Eurovision currently here in the UK. But I'm not gonna save your kisses for me, and I hope you don't save your kisses for me either. There will be some heroes out on track, but trust me, the racing is going to be our first priority. Good evening to everyone, as I say. Good luck into tonight. Just seen an alright short comment there saying good luck Mini Short. Of course, M Short in the McLaren. That is his brother, is the younger brother. So hopefully he'll do a good job out on track. Good evening to Bullet Boy, good evening to Doom, good evening to Montana, good evening to Toxic as well. And a DSQ incoming, says Doom. Well, Mark had a bet last week that he would get a disqualification. I'm glad to report that that didn't happen. So Mark will be counting, I think, his lucky chickens. That hasn't gone right for him just yet. Don't think the bet will carry over to this week, though. I think Doom will be very pleased to hear about that. 19 drivers, though, on track, and we're just running into the lobby now at the Circuit of the Americas. You can see the orbit there, just on the, it's 360 feet high, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head, and beautiful track this. Always a great overtaking track, always a track where you see good side-by-side action, and hopefully in Division 1. And our top tier of League of Europe on the penultimate night of racing, or the penultimate week of racing, I should say, we should see some good action out on track. And it is a dry qualifying session. Beautiful blue skies here in Austin. There is the track map, beautifully placed on the right-hand side, so you can see how difficult it might be, that track, especially through the very technical sectors of Sector 1 into the split through Turn 6 and then through Sector 3 as well. Those are going to be the main possible areas where you could see a little bit of contact, a little bit of braking in between the drivers. So hopefully we get to see some good action out on track. It looks to me as if a majority of the field will probably go out on a set of mediums to begin off with. I might be wrong. There might be drivers going out on a set of softs. We have got our first car coming out on track, and that looks like to me as if it's a Racing Point, if I'm not mistaken. There he is. It's VRT Schiaparelli going out on a set of soft compounder tyres. And the German will be hoping for a good result here tonight. So the first car is now coming out on track. We're already a minute into the session. Of course, if you are tuning in to League of Europe, good evening. This is Division 1. I'm James Head, as always, going to be taking you through the action. No Jay Cole, as I say, here tonight. He's going to be taking you through the Division 3 stream. So if you are tuning in for Division 3, then you have got the best possible commentator at hand, and that is because Aiden Commentless, his internet has gone down. His engineer is coming on Monday to fix his internet. Hopefully it'll get fixed, and hopefully we'll see Commentless back for Division 3 commentary next week as well. But Schiaparelli in the meantime on a lap, and you can see the very high sun glint. I've had to look back myself at my big massive TV, the sun glint. It's very hard to really delve into how hard this could be down in towards turn 12. It will put drivers off and it will invalidate laps, trust me on that one. Schiaparelli now coming through the final sector, and hopefully the German going to be setting a good lap here. We've got the majority of the cars out on track. Lakitu, Matt, June, Campbell and Spag yet to exit the pit lane. In fact, I think that's Campbell just coming out the pit lane there now. But who is your money on? Do let us know in the comment section, of course, and do let me know in the comment section. I will be checking them through probably during the course of the night, hopefully. But Schiaparelli coming through turn 20 to begin off the lap. Let's ride on board then with Schiaparelli on this lap, and I'm going to do something I haven't done before, and I'm not going to use anything. So you are going to see the full complement of Schiaparelli's lap here without the UI on the left or the right hand side. So through turn 1, now then towards turn 2 and towards the Maggots and Beckett section, that I like to call it, through 3, 4, 5 and 6. Let's see him through here, looking very good indeed. And we'll see how his first sector is looking as we flicker back on board. 24.6 through the first sector for Schiaparelli there. And we'll come on board with him. And has he invalidated his lap? He hasn't just yet. They're doing a good job actually out on track. I'll leave those guys, I'll leave the telemetry and everything up on the right hand side so you can see full complement of his gearing and everything through turn 11. Definitely doing a good job. And now down the long 1 kilometre straight, opens up the DRS in excess of 200 mph down here normally, and then into the hard braking zone of turn 12. Definitely now approaching this braking zone. Just off the 100-metre board, has to turn it in, a little bit of a lock up there, but very nice indeed from Sheffield. And it's a 101.3 through the middle sector. Let's go back off the EUI and have a look through turns 15 and turn 15 here, and then in towards the triple right at 16, 17 and 18. Famously where Verstappen overtook Raikkonen, but then got a penalty and then dropped down to 4th as a result of his penalty. Now through turn 18, then into 19, and into the final 2 corners now for Sheffield. Running wide there will gain you a little bit of an invalidation, and Sheffield in fact comes into the pit lane, so that was pretty much worthless from my opinion there. Cohen coming around the final corner, he comes across line 31.3, nice up there by Cohen. But Sheffield coming through the final corner, didn't really, he looked very good I've got to say on his lap, might just not feel as if he wants to settle up just yet. But Cohen currently on top, while Luigi by the way on a set of hard compound of tyres, he'll be next across the line. A couple actually coming into the pit lane once again. Luigi across the line, no lap this, just a banker, 38.6. Louis is out on track as well, and let's run on board with Louis actually, because he's coming through the final sector. He's another one that has opted for the hard compound of tyres early on in this session, and this will be the indicator whether Louis will be able to go quicker near on in the session. It could be a chance for the soft runners, those that decide to go on softs early on in the session and then decide to go on it further on. I think there's a racing point, a Toro Rosso off at the final corner there, maybe preparing for a lap, but Louis now around the final corner. That's a 1:32.3, and that was an invalid lap by the looks, as Montana goes quickest with a 1:30.5, and Alphatrix comes in right behind him. So Alphatrix sets the quickest lap currently, 1:30.3 here in qualifying. And it's Spag, I think, who ran wide through the final corner, and a good recovery there by Campbell as he squirrels himself across the line. He goes in behind Cohen for 6th position, in fact. So good recovery by Campbell. We caught that on stream. So Campbell 1:31.4. Nice recovery though out of the wall, pretty much there. And if he didn't lose it, I think he probably would have gone quicker than Cohen and maybe even quicker than Ice-T. So good recovery nonetheless. He probably lost a little bit of time as a result of that. So Lakitu and Matthias reaching through the final sector now. Lakitu coming through the final sector, now through turn 15. And the Mercedes looking to try and win the Constructors' Championship, possibly here. There's 10 points separating Mercedes and Ferrari out on track. But Lakitu doing a good job out on track. The German, about 10 seconds from the entrance into turn 19 to the line. And Lakitu now coming around the final corner. Will go ahead of Ice-T, I think, with this lap. Comes across the line. Oh, just goes in behind him. 7 thousandths behind. Let's see what Matthias is doing. If we can come on board, he's coming into the pits. The Dutchman into the pits. Ex-Jarry is on a lap, as is Spag and Chip. Spag coming around the final corner now. See what his lap time's going to be. Respectful 9th position. Only 3 thousandths off, mini short in 9th position now. 1:31.5 for Spag. But the early lap times are over and done with, and it's Alphatrix on top for Montana 2nd, Alonso in 3rd. The big prospect of Louis not setting a lap just yet. Louis is probably going to come into the pits. He's going to leave it late. He could be playing the mentality game rather than anything else out on track here tonight. But we'll go on board though with Toxic, who's coming around the final corner now. He's just about to start on his lap. And I think I'm getting that glitch where we don't see any invalidations or anything on my right hand side. So it's going to be difficult to see if there are any invalidations. But Toxic now coming up through turn 1. You can hear the pit going off when somebody enters the pits. That was a Renault coming in, but Toxic through turn 1, and they're trying to board with a lap with full UI complements. Left hand side and the right hand side. Toxic now through 3, 4, 5 and 6. Count them up as he comes through here. Looking very good, and Toxic through the first sector. It's a 24.5, so quicker than what we saw earlier on. And Toxic, the Williams man, they've been practicing I think this track there through turn 9 and then in towards turn 10. Looking good, and then into the heavy braking zone of the left-handed hairpin at turn 11. Just breaks off the 100-metre board. Turns it in very smooth indeed from Toxic. Smooth might be his middle name out on track, but Toxic now reaching that DRS point. He now reaches in excess of 200 mph once again out on track. Comes down towards the heavy braking zone at turn 12. The sun can put you off through here, and Toxic just misses the apex slightly. but a 101.3 through the middle sector is very respectful indeed. So Toxic doing a good job out on track. He now comes through turn 14 and into 15. And again, really smooth this lap from Toxic. Probably looking one of the better laps that I've been involved with, certainly so far this session. Toxic really smooth through 18 and then in towards 19 and 20. Looking very good indeed. Oh, beautiful through there. You can see the sun glazing through turn 20 on the camber of the corner there. Toxic now across the line. Very nice lap. Puts him 6th for the 131.2. So ahead of Cohen and ahead of Campbell. That is good for Williams in the Constructors' battles as well. They've got Montana to help tonight with him being a reserve. Toxic 6th at this moment in time. Louis is on a lap. Hopefully not going to be an invalid lap from the championship second. Louis, of course, coming into tonight 34 points behind Alphatrix. Alphatrix only needs to outscore Louis, and of course it will be taken to the final. It won't be taken to the final race of the season. The championship has been decided here in real life, and I think it might be decided here in real life once again in the sim racing mode, certainly for League of Europe. But Louis coming through now the middle sector, now through the final sector in fact, through turn 15. Really deep into that corner, very nice indeed. Be right on board. And again, I'll take the UI off as you see the camber of the corner through 16, 17 and 18. And then towards turn 19 and 20. This is the final corner coming up now for Louis. We'll put it back on as he comes through the final corner. Louis across the line. Gets a lap in, 12th, 132.2. Might be sitting a little bit further back. He's even thought of himself, Louis. He even thinks that the championship is over and done with. It is not by any stretch of the imagination. Anything can happen within the next 28 laps and within the next hour or so out on track. Xjarry just came across the line with an invalidated 140.1. Doom is on a lap. Let's see if he can get a lap in here. The Spaniard now coming through turn 19. DSQ incoming with his comments within the stream. But Doom currently looking like he's on a valid lap. Coming around the final corner. Going to go ahead of Waluigi, I think, across this line. Yeah, he does. 132.8 on a set of hard. So quicker, second quickest in terms of the hard compound of tyres. Difference in strategy is quite something as Matthias. Does he know where the pit lane is? I think he totally overdone that, Matthias. That was caught on stream as well. I seem to be catching everyone out tonight. Matthias invalidates a 137. And probably one of the weirdest things that you might have ever seen, to be honest. A driver outbraking himself into the pit lane, taking it too quick, and Matthias going 17th at this moment in time. Verstappen, by the way, has just came across the line for 4th, as has Cohen, I think, improving, and Alphatrix goes quicker. So Alphatrix goes quicker. Just trying to pick on board with somebody that might be on a lap. Campbell, the Scotsman, coming around the final couple of corners, through 16, 17 and 18. And again, I'm not picking up the invalid laps on the right-hand side, so if there's any invalidations on people's laps, I'm not picking them up. So, obviously, it's a bit of a pain. Campbell around the final corner, goes 4th. Final sector there from Campbell. So he goes ahead of Verstappen by just over 1/10 of a second and goes 4th. 6 minutes to go. Ice-T, by the way, is improving as well. No, he's not. He's coming into the pit lane. Ice-T is into the pit lane. How's Mini Short getting on? I think he improved up a position. So 131.3 there for Mini Short out on track. In 11th position. June, Waluigi now on a set of soft compound of tyres. Let's see what he's getting on with. The Belgian now coming through the final couple of corners. Chapelletti still in the pit lane. Still yet to set a lap, as has Matthias. Larkin still yet to set a very quick lap as well. I think he's coming through the final sector now. Waluigi coming round the final corners now. Through turn 20. Waluigi across the line. Goes 12th, 131.4. Just puts him in between Mini Short and Spag and Chips there. Ties back into the pit. So if Larkin, he's in the middle sector. Xjarry is further up on the straight. So we're right on board with Xjarry. I think he's struggling here tonight. 105.6 is not a competitive middle sector. I think he might be coming into the pits maybe with this one. We're right on board with him just in case. Williams coming around the final corner. I think that's Montana. 130.2 I think that was from Montana. Improving up to second there. So Montana 130.2. Nice lap from him. Xjarry now coming around the final corner. Is this going to be a valid lap from him? No, it's going to come into the pits. I knew it from a mile off. Xjarry would be coming into the pit lane. Larkin, however, is on a lap. 1:35.6. Time to beat for him. He'll inevitably beat this, I think. 10 seconds, as I say, from turn 19. Larkin looking good as he comes around the final couple of corners. Going to be in and around Spag Louis sort of area, I think, with this. And goes right in between, in fact. 1:31.8. 3.8 seconds improvement. I think he can go a little bit quicker than that, though. He might be holding something back for later on in the session. The key to is on a lap, I do believe. Let's ride on board with him. No, he's not. He's 2.6 seconds down. So that is pretty much then the lap's over and done with. Toxic on a lap 900's up. I think he might have invalidated. Not using up any ERS or DRS down the straight. But Alphatrix on top, 1:31.1, 1:30.1, sorry. Montana in second with a 1:30.2. Alonso in third with Campbell in fourth. Nikita in fifth with 4 minutes to go in the session. Verstappen in sixth, Bullet Boy seventh, Cohen in eighth, Ice-T in ninth, and Toxic filling out the top 10. M. Shortwell, Ouija, Spag, Larkin, Louis, top 15. Louis down there on a set of hard compound side. We'll probably be holding something back later on in the session. June 16th, Matthias, Xjarry and VRT Schiaparelli. Still yet to set laps, Matthias, Xjarry and Schiaparelli. Matthias has just came out the pits. Larkin is not on a lap, 7/10 down. Ice-T, however, is on an out lap. And he's about to come around the final corner now, so we'll go on board with the reserve in the McLaren, filling in for Heldorn here tonight. Ice-T had a good debut actually last time out in Mexico. He's relatively competitive and now comes through turn 1 here at Circuit of the Americas. The penultimate round of the championship here in Division 1. Alphatrix still out on top, Montana second, Alonso in third, but Ice-T now coming through 3, 4, 5 and 6. Counting them up. Gets caught on the sausage curve nicely there. 24.5, a 10th up through the first sector. This could be possible sub 1:31 lap time. When I say sub 1:31, they'll probably be within the 1:30s, I would imagine. The 10th up through the first sector, definitely going to be a good improvement. This could be. So now it comes down the 1 kilometre straight through turn 11 there, now down towards turn 12. You can really see how bright that sun is as he comes into the middle of the track. I think actually he might have invalidated this lap. So Ice-T, that's the pressure of having a driver, or having a commentator on board, I should say, on board a driver's perspective. Ice-T, I think, will be preparing for another lap perhaps. We see a whole host of cars coming around out of the pit lane. And Matthias now coming out of the final corner. Matthias, the Dutchman, let's see what he can do. Let's see if it's a valid lap time this time, and let's see if he doesn't miss the pits like last time as well. Matthias though, coming down towards turn 1. Looking very nice through there. Off banking through the corner there. Very nice. Matthias now through turn 2 and then towards 3, 4, 5 and 6. You see the eye there just in the foreground of shot, cutting to the left hand side now. 24.5 through the middle sector, through the first sector I should say, for Matthias. Looking good out on track. Yellow flags ahead. Not sure if this is, I think this is just drivers on an out lap. Toxic is the one ahead of him. Could give him a little bit of a tow down the straight. These two former FRL drivers at heart. Matthias, yeah, Toxic is going to give Matthias a bit of helping. So we're seeing boundaries being broken quite literally here. Toxic gets out of the way, Matthias now into the middle sector, in towards turn 12. Very nicely there, Xjarry gets out of the way on the outside. Now a 1 minute 9 middle sector, so not bad there at all from Matthias. Toxic really helping him down the straight. Matthias now coming through turn 15. He's got to put the rest of his lap together himself though. So Williams getting out of the way on the right hand side. That will be the other one of Montana. Again, Montana, an ex-FRL driver as well. Matthias though coming around the final 2 corners. Looking good through there. And now through turn 20. This is going to be a competitive lap from Matthias as he comes across the line. What's it going to be? Goes fourth. 1:30.8 for Matthias. Nice lap by the Dutchman. Although he got a load of tow down the straight, he really put that lap together and Matthias goes fourth. So very good indeed from the Dutchman. Let's see what Alphatrix is doing in the middle sector. Probably going to be one of the first to come across the line, I would imagine, with 20 seconds left to go in qualifying. We've got Louis on a lap as well. I think he might be coming through the final corners. He is. So Louis now coming around turn 19. He's got traffic in his way. That's a Renault, I think. Well, Ouija just ahead of him. Louis now around the final corner. He's hanging something back for the race. If he knows something we don't. Goes 7th with us on a set of mediums. Goes 3 thousandths behind his teammate Lakitu, and he pulls off the side of the track. That is him done. So Louis' 7th is the best he can hope for. Let's see if anybody else is on a lap time. We fly through the grid quickly. Cohen coming through the final sector. There's a Ferrari coming through the final sector as well as Alphatrix. Goes across the line 29.9 for Alphatrix. So Alphatrix takes possible pole position. Cohen, though, is going to be one of the next to come across the line. We've got Verstappen, I think, coming through the final corner as well. He's improving quite vastly as well. Verstappen around the final corner. Let's see what he can do. He runs wide. That's an invalid lap, I think. He goes 6th. He goes 6th. That didn't look valid to me, however. Anyways, let that be a lesson to everyone else, I think. Toxic. 5 tenths up through the middle sector. Let's see what he can do through the final 2 corners. Montana currently in 2nd. He just came across the line, didn't improve. Toxic across the line, goes 3rd. 130.5. Campbell goes up to 5th ahead of Matthias. Matthias is down on his lap as well. Lakitu now running the final corner. Can the German answer anything for the Mercedes team? Across the line goes Lakitu. He goes 7th. Is that all over and done with? We've still got quite a few out on track. M Short's going to be one of the next ones to come across the line. It's quite hectic this. Chapelletti across the line on a set of mediums, 132.1. Mini Short gets out of the way, 13th for him. What's Bullet Boy doing? Around the final corner. He can put in a lap when he can. Bullet Boy on! He spins out the final corner. And that is donuts and a half, and I think he wants to try and get across the line as long as possible. Yeah, Bullet Boy, he's doing a bit of donuts here in qualifying. He gets across the line finally. It was looking good. I think he was going to improve, maybe ahead of Louis and Verstappen, but Bullet Boy 11th. And it's Alphatrix on top. Louis for the championship down in 10th position. So massively vast variations there in the lap time between the 2 championship leaders. Game on here in America. But Alphatrix takes it. I mean, it's 2.5 tenths. Champion-elect taking on the former champion of Montana. We might be crowning the new champion, of course, this tonight. Toxic in 3rd, Alonso 4th, Campbell in 5th, Matthias 6th, Lakitu 7th, Cohen in 8th, Verstappen in 9th. Top 9 separated by less than a second. Louis in 10th on a set of mediums. Quite interesting to watch him. Bullet Boy in 11th, Ice-T 12th, M Short 13th, Waluigi 14th, Spag in 15th, Doom in 16th, Larkin in 17th, Chapelletti in 18th. Next, Jerry was the only one out on track not to get a time set in. But it's that man there, Alphatrix, who is 2.5 tenths ahead of Montana coming into the race. Get prepared for this one. Get really excited, because honestly this could be maybe one of the races of the century, and it's cloudy. So I wonder if Louis was under the instinct that it could be a wet start to the race. Could get rain in the race, possibly. We'll see and try and confirm that for you guys from the comment section or through Discord as well. Division 3, by the way, is live as well. Jake Hall, of course, taking you through that one. Yep, Jake Hall is taking you through that. Him in the background of the shot there. Good evening to McCrew, by the way, who is coming in. And Formula 1 Racing Team saying, how can I contact the admin of this championship? Oh, and I've got an error. Absolutely fantastic. Well, that was absolutely unexpected. I'm not sure what on earth has happened there. Answers on a postcard, please. I think I've lost connection from the session. I think that's what's happened there. Let's see if we can get back in. And it's loading, hopefully. I think I might have to restart my game, which is absolutely fantastic. Thank you guys for giving me a lot of invites, by the way. I'm going to try a couple more, and then if I have to, I might have to restart my game. Oh, there we go, I'm in. I don't need to restart my game, I'm in. There we go. I'm not going to ready up. I thought I was going to be a driver out on track for a minute there, but I'm not. Just to speak about that comment, by the way, Mark, old school, is, or XL Mark now, XL_Mark is the one who you should be contacting, or one of the points of contact here. For Division 1 in particular, Gary Donegan, XL Gary, should be the one person that you contact to be a part of League of Europe. And we will be, of course, moving on to the new game after these final 2 rounds in the next 2 weeks. We will be moving on to the new game for Season 4, unless there's something under wraps that I even haven't heard of. Let's see. But we're into the formation app, and the session no longer exists again. What on earth is going on? Why is it doing this? Can somebody please explain why on earth this is doing this? And to me, of all people, goodness me.